Happening now, we're hearing feedback from a mayoral candidate about this week's teen fight and subsequent stabbings in Jamestown. And the latest charges lodged against 2 men accused of trafficking drugs. Plus, a look at how the local Autobahn Center is using lights to connect the public with nature.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen in for Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, we start today with First Defense weather, as high winds will be blowing through parts of western New York this weekend. Our chief forecaster, Andrew Stevenson, joins us with more. And really, what we're going to be seeing now, Andrew.
Yes, today you can consider it calm before the storm because tomorrow Mother Nature is going to bring some rain and some high winds to the area. The National Weather Service in Buffalo issued a high wind watch yesterday that will go into effect at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning and run until 8 o'clock Sunday morning. The high wind watch is for Chautauqua and Erie County and the Niagara Frontier. Now it's at some point later this afternoon heading into night. I suspect a wind advisory might be issued for Cattaraugus County as well as Erie County in Pennsylvania, as the entire area will have to deal with strong winds tomorrow, but the strongest winds will be near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline. So here's those weather headlines. Today will be a cloudy, mainly cloudy day, but it will be dry. The rain will return tomorrow, widespread rain tomorrow, and possibly even a couple of thunderstorms across the southern tier, as well as the strong winds tomorrow and tomorrow night. And once again, we'll dry out Sunday into Monday as high pressure builds back and across the area. Happening right now across the region, nothing precipitation-wise, but there are some clouds out there. And there are some breaks in the clouds, and that's basically the forecast for this afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies, limited sunshine at times with a northeast wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour, and temperatures today will range in the low to mid 40s. And I'll have a look at the full forecast, including how strong those winds are going to get, coming up in just a few minutes.
Alrighty, Andrew, thank you, and at least we don't see that 4-letter S word. A fight and subsequent stabbing between teenagers in Jamestown is influencing the race for municipal mayor, with one candidate seeking to restore public engagement in our community. Our Justin Gould reports.
On Thursday, the City Republican Party hosted a campaign kickoff event announcing their endorsement for City of Jamestown mayor.
So without any more fanfare, I'm going to introduce to you the next mayor of the City of Jamestown, Kim Eckland.
Among one of the many policy items discussed during the campaign kickoff event is connected to public safety, specifically the fight this week on Jamestown's south side.
Where as a society are we going wrong? I mean, there's things I'm not going to be able to control if I win as mayor as far as that. It starts at home. But, you know, people like my son, who are looking for someone to be a role model and to play a positive influence in their life, he could have gone down the wrong path as well.
Kim Eckland says several factors contributed to the violence perpetrated by a mob of minors.
Where that incident was yesterday, I grew up right around the corner on Prospect. We need to get back to being a neighborhood. I started off in Neighborhood Watch. That was very important to me. Getting your neighbors involved, having neighborhood chats about what's going on in your community.
For those looking to get involved in the solution, the longtime councilwoman turned mayoral candidate says community involvement is a good start.
Find your niche. Find something that you enjoy, whether it's the church, if it's the school, if it's a board, if it's a commission. Get involved, make a difference.
To help area kids, the candidate pledges more investment in opportunities for not just those living in Jamestown, but surrounding communities too.
Those kids are our future. We might not get a 500 employee factory, but we can get them to live here to work in the town of Ellicott. So we got to make Jamestown something where people want to live, work, and do business.
Justin Gould, WNY News Now.
Supposed to save money. Eckland is running against incumbent Democrat Eddie Sundquist in this fall's general election. 2 men face various drug and weapons charges following a drug raid in Jamestown on Thursday. The Jamestown Police Department Metro Drug Task Force arrested 20-year-old Jordan Dandridge and 37-year-old Dion Carr at the location. Dandridge police report was located inside the residence, and Carr was arrested walking away from the house just prior to the raid. During interactions with police, Carr also allegedly provided a false name. Following a search, detectives say they located nearly 38 grams of cocaine, packaging materials, scales, cash, and a loaded .45 caliber pistol that was previously reported stolen out of the city of Jamestown. Both men were transported to city jail, where they were held for arraignment. Well, a Jamestown man wanted for arrest by the U.S. Marshal Service was taken into custody this week. On Wednesday night, the Jamestown Police Department received a tip that 36-year-old Henson Vasquez was staying at a Southside residence. Officers set up a perimeter before making contact with residents inside. Vasquez, police say, was held up inside a bedroom and possibly armed with a gun. Patrol called all occupants out of the house, with Vasquez refusing. After a several-hour-long standoff, the Jamestown Police SWAT team took the wanted man into custody. He faces several charges, including criminal possession of a weapon. Well, a push to raise Chautauqua County's tax on hotel and other similar overnight stays has been shot down. This week, the Chautauqua County legislature rejected County Executive P.J. Wendell's proposal to increase the occupancy tax from 5% to 8%. Wendell sought to use the additional income to help fund environmental efforts to improve waterways and lakes countywide. Several local lodging-related business owners spoke out against the increase in tax, including Spring Lakeside Inn owner Rosary Stage.
Our guests do know when our taxes increase. When they examine their bill at the end of the stay, we get constant feedback for the amount of tax that has to be paid. When they compare the total bill to other vacation areas, we will become more uncompetitive and crossed off the future vacation list.
An amended resolution keeping the tax at 5% passed unanimously, a surprise to County Executive Wendell, who wished lawmakers and residents alike would have reached out for clarification on the increased request. Well, on Saturday, the St. Susan Center is hosting their 20th annual Basket Fair fundraiser, raising money to help further the nonprofit's mission to feed anyone here in the city of Jamestown. Our Alyssa Wright is live at the Fluvanna Community Church today with a look at preparations ahead of the massive fundraising array. Alyssa?
Thank you, Bronson. I'm here with Sherry of the St. Susan Center at the Fluvanna Community Church. Could you tell us a little bit? It's the 20th annual basket raffle, correct?
It is, and we're so excited about the 20th annual basket fair. This year, we will be having our fair tomorrow. March 25th from 11 to 3, and the drawing begins at 2. So we'll be selling tickets from 11 until 2 sharp tomorrow. And then we'll start drawing for the baskets then. And the basket fair is, like we said, 20 years. And 20 years in the making, and we have 20 baskets that are out here that have been donated from all members of the community and different businesses. And I am actually standing right next to one of my favorites, which is Harley Davidson, and it has all the Harley Davidson insignia on it. It has a Harley Davidson hat and a mug and a t-shirt, just really nice stuff. And we have several things going on. We have several big prizes, grand prizes, which include a 70-inch television set, a 8-piece patio set, and $500 in cash. So if you come down to the basket fair, you'll come down and buy a sheet of tickets for $20, and I believe there's 24 tickets on the sheet, and you can go through the basket fair and choose any one of the baskets here and take a chance to win it. And the grand prize, same thing. You have the chance to win a grand prize, and we have 2 door prizes. And we would love to have you all come down here to the basket fair at Community Fluvanna Church. And our van will be right out front.
All right, well, thank you very much. Thank you for having us here today. Tomorrow, March 25th, at what time are we starting?
We're starting at 11, and we will draw at 2 p.m. sharp.
All right, so be here at 11. Live from Fluvanna, Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. As WNY News Now a new initiative to improve food benefit access in New York State. And later, an important call Hyundai and Kia owners need to know. Stay with us as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on Channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Caitlin Armstrong
has been quite the experience.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Some lawmakers are trying to put funding in this year's budget into a reproductive health training grant program that aims to expand abortion access in the state. Our New York State Capitol correspondent Elise Klein talked to lawmakers and medical students about the impact this funding could have.
This session, the Senate and the Assembly introduced a bill to establish a grant program for medical interns and residents to receive training on abortion and other related reproductive health services. Last week, the Senate advanced this bill in their one House budget resolutions. Some lawmakers say while New York has strong laws protecting reproductive health, there is more they can do for New Yorkers and out-of-state residents looking for sanction.
If we don't have enough healthcare providers who have the training to provide the services these women need, we flunk the test. It's as simple as that.
The Senate put $6 million into their one House budget resolutions for this initiative. Some students say navigating medical school and residency in a time when states around the country are limiting abortion access, this legislation is pertinent, especially for students who sometimes don't have an abundance of choices for their education.
If you only get into medical school in like Nebraska, that's where you're going to go because that's where you're going to get your medical training. And you need to have access to states like New York State where you can get that training if you do end up there.
For Tiffany Wynn, a 30-year-old medical student, she has seen this issue impact her as a patient and a student. Wynn had her now 1-year-old daughter Violet in her first year of medical school. She says through her experience of having a child, it gave her a lot of comfort to know her doctors were experts in their field, and she wants to have that same expertise.
As a future provider, I want to know that my state cares about my education enough to prioritize my education and my training for the rest of my career.
In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
New York is launching a new initiative to improve food benefit access for women, infants, and children, also known as WIC. The State Department of Health will partner with Code for America to run a live online chat program. The state says the program will help the agency gather feedback to improve the WIC program and enrollment statewide. Based on the feedback, the state will determine what is preventing eligible families from participating and taking full advantage of the program. The U.S. Department of Agriculture found that roughly 706,000 New Yorkers will be eligible for WIC in 2020, but only 363,000 in the program. Well, hundreds of gun safety advocates were at Pennsylvania Capitol Thursday to rally with the organization Cease Erie, PA. Families and friends shared stories of loss and how they've been impacted by gun violence. They're calling on the General Assembly to pass what they call sensible gun legislation and say it will save lives. The legislation includes enhanced background checks, safe storage requirements, requiring a lost or stolen firearm to be reported, and more advocates say now is the time for emergency response to the gun violence crisis, which is #1 cause of death for children.
For every one of these children, there should be an emergency effort being made by every adult, because some way, somehow you impact this world and that impacts this child.
House Republicans argue that criminals are not going to start following the law just because you put new gun laws on the books. Republicans also blame, quote, political prosecutors in major cities who say that they are being soft on crime. Well, Honda and Kia are recalling more than 570,000 SUVs and vans due to the risk of fire. The National Highway Safety Administration says their tow hitches could cause electrical shorts. Included in the recall are 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe's, Santa Cruz's, and Kia Carnivals, as well as a few slightly older versions. Owners with affected vehicles should receive letters by mid-May. The manufacturer advises parking the vans and SUVs away from structures until taking them into a dealer for free repairs. Now, Hyundai says it received one report of a fire related to this issue, but Kia says it hasn't gotten any. Well, the popular video app TickTock was the focus of a congressional hearing this week, and the app's CEO was in the hot seat, getting grilled by congressional members concerned about the app's data privacy and its links to the Chinese government. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
TickTock, the social media and video app, has about 1 billion users. 150 million of those users are Americans. The relationship between the popular app and its Chinese parent company ByteDance has raised national security concerns among U.S. officials and congressional members on both sides of the aisle. Today, the CEO of TickTock is at the U.S. Capitol to testify before congressional members. Members grilled the CEO during their hearing. Their questions and statements reflect the growing distrust of the popular app, as some TikTok users might say, to encourage people to continue watching their content. Swipe for the next video to see snippets of the hearing.
TikTok collects nearly every data point imaginable, from people's location to what they type and copy, who they talk to, biometric data, and more.
Be willing to make that commitment that from now on you won't collect location and health data without what you're saying at all. Is that a commitment?
This is data that's frequently collected by many other companies in our industry.
I know other companies do it. I don't think they should without affirmative consent. You said you want to be a good actor. So why not make that commitment to me today?
We're committed to be very transparent with our users about what we collect.
Aside from the concerns about the CCP's influence on TikTok, the app has faced criticism about its influence on young people.
TikTok collects and compiles vast troves of valuable personal information to create an addictive algorithm that is able to predict with uncanny accuracy which videos will keep users scrolling, even if the content is harmful, inaccurate, or feeds destructive behavior or extremist beliefs.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Now, members on both sides of the aisle are using this hearing as an opportunity to strengthen data and security laws, and for some, they're calling for a total ban on TikTok because of its ties to the Chinese government. Well, coming up, we meet a new furry friend that's up for adoption in the Chautauqua County Humane Society. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under mostly cloudy skies. The current temperature at the Jamestown Airport is 35 degrees with a north wind of 3 miles per hour. Yesterday we made it to a high of 52 degrees. The low was 31. The records for today, once again, the record high was 81, set back in 2012, and the record low of -6, set back in 1906. Here's what's happening across the Northeast right now. High pressure across Michigan is keeping all this rain crossing to our south, but that rain will eventually make it to our area as we head into tonight and into tomorrow, along with some very gusty winds. So let's time it out on future scan for the rest of the afternoon out there. Mostly cloudy skies. Will have some breaks in the clouds this afternoon that will allow for some limited sunshine. The rain will begin to arrive overnight as low pressure tracks across the Great Lakes. We might even start off with some wintry mix tomorrow, early tomorrow morning before it comes mainly rain in the afternoon. Might even see a couple rumbles of thunder tomorrow afternoon, and then eventually a cold front that's going to move through later tomorrow night, and after that rain showers will begin to come to an end tomorrow night, maybe even a couple of snow showers before all the precipitation comes to an end by Sunday morning, and the winds will also die down Sunday, and then high pressure will provide dry weather for the rest of Sunday and into the day on Monday. Here's a look at wind gusts where we're going to end up tomorrow afternoon. The strongest winds will be tomorrow, and then we'll get a little break in the winds tomorrow evening, and then those winds will pick back up tomorrow night with that cold front. But around tomorrow afternoon, wind gusts 40, 45 miles per hour across the southern tier. The strongest wind gusts of 55 to 60 miles per hour will be found near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline. And now the extended forecast powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. Temperatures today in the mid-40s. We'll go mid-50s tomorrow, back down in the lower 40s Sunday, Monday. But at least it'll be dry Sunday, Monday. Right in our chance for some mixed showers on Tuesday, and temperatures next week in the low to mid-40s, Bronson.
All right, we like to see that weather. Well, in an effort to help animals find their forever home, WNY News Now is partnering with Chautauqua County Humane Society in our segment called The Pet of the Week. And today, although you can't exactly see him on camera, we have a dog with us today. What can you tell us about him?
So this is Milo. He is a year and a half. He's been with us for only about, I want to say, a week now. He is a very active dog. Loves to play, loves to run around. With the springtime coming, if you're looking for a hiking friend, he would be perfect for that. He loves other dogs. He definitely loves kids, but we're probably recommending 6 and up for him just because he does have a lot of energy and we don't want him knocking any friends to the ground. So definitely, if you're looking for a hiking friend or an active dog for your home, definitely come and check out Milo.
Oh yeah, definitely. You had mentioned that he's about a year and a half. So
Yeah.
how big will he get?
So this is actually him full grown. He could definitely gain a couple more pounds because he is a little thinner. You can see a couple of his ribs. He could gain a little bit of weight, but this will be him full grown. So he's about 48 pounds now. So roughly he'll be about 50 total.
All right. And for a dog, really, how difficult is that to bring a dog into a new household?
So there is a bit of an adjustment period with dogs. So when you first get them home, they say it takes about 3 months to completely be adjusted to your lifestyle and your routine. So it definitely takes a little bit of time. But overall, we do meet and greets with you. We are here to help you. So if you're introducing him into your house and you have any questions, we are a resource and we're here to help.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out here today. And if you want to learn more about Milo or any other residents of the shelter, make sure to contact the Chautauqua County Humane Society at 716-665-2209 or visit chuhumane.org.
Thank you.
Coming up next, how the Autobahn Center is lighting up the night in hopes to reconnect people with nature.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
This year's theme, Fire Won't Wait, Plan Your Escape, focuses on the importance of knowing your way out of a home or business in the event that a fire were to break out.
The Hello Summer Festival in downtown Jamestown, and as you mentioned, the whole goal of this is to connect Jamestown's kids with things to do over the summer.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
No. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Well, the Jamestown Autobahn Society is premiering their Autobahn Lights display tonight with the goal of connecting people with nature. Our crews walked down the half-mile trail full of different lights, silhouettes, and nature.
We have turned Autobahn into this kind of magic fairyland at night, where it's a half-mile trail that is all lit up with spotlights and swinkly lights and lasers.
For public engagement specialist Jeff Tome, seeing walkers light up when viewing the spectacle is what makes the event great.
To see the awe on their faces. Last year we had a guy who just stared at the first pond with all these reflections of trees and things, and he's just like, wow, I had no idea it was going to be like this. And he just stared at it for like 10 minutes. It's just an amazing feeling. It's really cool.
In addition to the plethora of lights, there will be a slew of other activities for walkers to enjoy.
Every weekend we'll have different bands coming. We've got people with LED hula hoopers that just make cool light patterns out here in the dark, where we'll have a campfire and food and snacks. On Friday the 24th, we have a fire breather coming. So she's going to periodically let out spews of fire out into the thing.
With even more events like a scavenger hunt for patrons to enjoy, Tome believes that the light show will be a great experience.
It's just something fun to experience. And we've worked really hard to make sure that there's more than just a trail of lights. There's always some entertainment and popcorn and food and drinks, and it's just a lot of, it's a good way to make a night out of it.
Now the light show begins Friday, March 24th and runs until April 8th. Tickets will cost $12 for adults and $9 for children, and with children 2 and under, they're free, with discounts for members. And now while our crews were filming, we were asked to keep a few things out that will be sure to surprise all of those trail walkers. Well, that is it for us today. Remember that news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app, and download it for free today. And today we will leave you with this live look over Findlay Lake. We'll see you next time.